Hi, it's Robert with my 2016 Chevy Tahoe, part 2 of replacing the front valance or panel, whatever you want to call this thing. Be nice if I get my flashlight working correctly here. My first video, I said that it was a relatively easy install and it came out real easy. However, I did have some problems putting it back in, and I'm going to show you what those are. So you don't have the same problems that I did. I have the old one sitting right here, and I'm going to tell you just a couple things real fast. Okay, number one, I mentioned in my previous one that these little clips, the same ones that hold this one on, from my Porsche did not work. You need the ones from Chevy. So I would pick up a few of these. I don't know how they sell them, because I did lose one, break one. And my temporary fix for that was a good old tie strap. It worked fine. Now, when replacing, you have to take the wiper arms off. The older Chevys, it looks like they have the same exact wiper arms. You take these off, you put them down on the ground, you don't really think anything of it. I changed the wiper blades out when I was at it. Then when I went to put them back on, I noticed that they're different. Each one of them is different. And actually one's marked LH on the bottom, and the other one is marked RH on the bottom. Right hand, left hand. Well, is it left hand facing the vehicle or left hand going away from the vehicle? So I just did a hit and miss, got it right the first time. These shafts right here, the first part before it bends, are slightly different. And what I did is I used, I think I used the shorter end on this side and the longer end on this side. So you don't have that problem, because I didn't look at it to see which one I actually did. When you take them off, just mark them which side you got them on. You don't have to worry about it. Again, I soaked it overnight in some spray grease blaster stuff, and I was able to get the arms off. Each arm requires a different position of the hood to put in and take off. This, the one in the middle, obviously it's hood up. I put a step stool at the front of my truck here, climb up, and I just lean my big old body right across this, and I grabbed it with my left hand and my right hand, and you just crank it back and forth, rock it gently back and forth, and it popped up. And then on this side, I did the same exact thing. However, you shut the hood on this. You don't have to shut it all the way, and then you'll have access to it. Now, when it comes to sliding this back on, it does have it's a different hose setup than the older Chevys or GMCs, whereas the washer fluid does not come through the arms. It's through a separate hose, and I'll show you on the other Valence. You can see it does go, this end here leads to the washer tank, and then these spray from the Valence. So that's one difference. But it actually makes it very easy. This tube right here, which is on the driver's side, is very easy. Once you get it in there, you want to warm it in there first, and you'll find where it came through. I would take a look at it first before you do it. There's a little clip right here. You can see that clip right there. That's not in there perfectly, obviously, so let's see if I can get that in there. Yeah, it's getting a little old and worn out, but that's where it goes. You slide it in and you pop it. It pops right into the new one. Very easy. You'll see it's just a little squeeze, and you can pull the hose apart. That's the easy part. Nothing to worry about. When you put this back in, remember, don't put your wiper arms on first. They go on last. For number one, it was extremely dirty under here. Even despite the fact that I pressure cleaned this thing, wash it, underneath this thing was disgusting. Right around this part, there's like a deep cave, I don't know what to call it, spot in there, and it was filled with dirt, sediment, leaves, everything you could ever imagine. Basically where your air intake is for your for the air conditioning. Anyway, then I used a razor blade and soap, and I cleaned the edge of the windshield from the front to the back, because there'll be a thick film underneath this. You want it clean, and when I was done, I even waxed it, because the seal here has to fit flush up against this. If there's any space in there, water will get in there. As you can see, there's little teeny specks of dirt in there now, and that's because of these wonderful Florida oaks. They drop stuff all over your car. Leaves are always in here. So you'll want to clean that out very good. I wasn't afraid to hit it with some gunk degreaser. You're not just the citrus one, not the full power one. I sprayed it all up in there, hosed it out, then used a compressor. Again, I have a 220 volt compressor, so it does have a significant amount of power, and it does help to blow out the dust, the water. And then I took some white lithium grease. I greased up some of the joints in there, and then when I did reassemble the arms, I took some red grease and put it on each one of the bolts and the threads, so they won't corrode anymore, or hopefully not. So now here's the tricky part. When you do get this in, on the end of each one of these, I'm going to show them to you. Right. This piece right here. This fits over the top of the valance here. So it actually only holds in, it's got like a clip here and two clips here. It comes out real easy. So you want to take this one off first, and then take the other one off before you try taking this off. Number one, it'll come off when you start shaking it, but you don't want to damage it. So take these caps off. They come off real easy, I promise you, and they go back in real easy. You want to make sure that they are snapped down when you put them back in. Right here in this area, right where I'm touching my flashlight. You can see my finger. You want to make sure that it's snapped down and in place good. Now, I took some, hang on a second, I can find it here. 404. I buy it by the gallon. It's cheaper on Zoro. I buy 2 of these at a time, so I get the free shipping at 40 bucks. It works on everything. I lightly sprayed both sides of the Valence, the new one, and cleaned it up pretty good, and that way the rubber will last a little bit longer in the sun, especially in Florida. Now, when you go to push the Valence on, this was the tricky part. They have little, I'm doing this in the dark, of course. There's little clips right here. You see these? This is the mold that goes bad. If you look at it, you can see that it's warped. It had junk under it, and this is what was causing the water to go underneath. It's really warped here. So make sure that I put some 303 on this also, the whole thing as a matter of fact, and then on the other side. When you go to put these in, these clips have to go up underneath the windshield. Now, you think you could get it in the first shot. Good luck. It took me about 3 or 4 times to get it, and these little clips kept bending up over the top, and you can't force it in. So, and the worst thing you can use is a screwdriver against that part of the windshield, because you will split your windshield and shatter it. I ended up using, believe it or not, like, you know, those little plastic pieces that come attached to sockets that when they sell them separately, or you could use a credit card or an old one, and I used that to just gently push down the tab while I was trying to push it into the windshield. And once you get it under there, just work your way down, like there, through the middle, and then once you get them all in, give it a good push. Give the Valence a good push this way, in that direction, and let it snap in, and then may check your edges and make sure there's no gaps. If there's one gap, that means one of the clips did not clip in. You might have to back the whole thing out to get it in if it's too far. That is the end of this video. And then, of course, I'm going to do a test to let you know whether it worked or not, to get rid of the fogging that's occurring, was occurring with this. I hope that takes care of it. I think it will, but if it doesn't, I'll let you know that too. I'm not perfect at this stuff, just trying it, and I think that was the fix. Anyway, that's the end of my long, boring War and Peace video. And until next time, Robert signing off.